Time is now about to turn to 6:54 on this Monday morning, and here's what you need to know before you go.
Today, the Duluth City Council will be meeting tonight with multiple city councilors, each bringing forward resolutions focused on immigration enforcement. As we've previously reported, Councilor Jordan Johnson will be proposing a resolution clarifying the relationship between the city of Duluth and the enforcement of federal immigration laws. Councilors Wendy Derwachter and David Clonaugh will also be bringing forward a resolution calling on Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to issue an emergency executive order across the state to provide financial protection to families impacted by Operation Metro Surge. We will have a reporter at the meeting and break down how these discussions play out tonight at 10.
We've learned 3 people died in a house fire in Burnett County, Wisconsin. It happened around 4:50 a.m. on Saturday in Anderson Township, which is south of Grantsburg. When first responders arrived, they found the home was totally up in flames. 3 people who lived there were found dead. Authorities have not shared their names at this point as they continue to notify family members. The fire is still under investigation by the Wisconsin Fire Marshal's office.
Dozens of snowmobile riders will hit the trail for a good cause this week. The 2026 Blackwoods Blizzard Tour, which is put on by nonprofit Never Surrender and raises money to help Northland families fight ALS, begins Wednesday with a reception at Black Bear Casino Resort in Carlton. Then Thursday morning, snowmobile riders will leave from there, beginning their 3-day journey across the Northland. Their goal is to raise more than $1 million, both to support local families as they fight ALS and to help fund research for the disease that currently has no cure. We have a link to donate on our website, northernnewsnow.com.